Actually sprouted, so we took the propagation hood, The farmer in.
Liddell.
The farmer in.
Liddell.
Hi ho, da dirty do, the farmer in.
Liddell.
I do, y'all. So today we're gonna have kind of a mixed bag of wrapping up a few things, hopefully a lot of things. But yeah, we got a bunch going on. So let me show you what we are gonna do today. Well, first thing is, yep, we got a fire going in the garage. And yep, it's still kind of chaotic because we're not done with all that. Anyway, yeah, all this has to move over there so that I can finish putting all the insulation up. And then the old snug bug can move over here. And then we'll start doing it from that side. But that is not likely to happen today. So I kind of started off on the wrong foot already. It's early. Okay, back on the bus. So the reason that there is a fire in there is because we're painting the little brooder. The paint we put on it last time was actually, I would say, like, it was just everything dumped into a 5-gallon bucket, and it came out kind of, you know, like purple. And that's what we painted it with. So there was some interior paint, there was some exterior paint, blah, blah, blah. So it didn't fare as very well. So we went out and spent some money. I don't remember what it cost, but we got us some paint. Anyhow, this is the first coat. It did not come out the color Liddell was wanting. I don't know if the camera really shows it, but that is not red, pink. So now we got red. But anyway, we'll get that painted after it gets warmed up in here. But first, yep, we got to put more bedding down in on the ducks and the chickens. Spread that out between the two of them. So we'll go get that started. And then after that, I've got a maintenance issue. So what you see next to the chimney there is actually rigid foam that's foil backed. I don't know how well you can hear me over the ducks, but my microphone broke, so you just got to go with what we got. I'll try and talk loud, because that's a problem for me. Anyway, we'll use this here stall rake and get it all cleaned out, put it into the wheelbarrow, and then I'm going to dump it over on the other side. You can kind of see there was a bunch of chips on this side. We used to use this for the garden because duck poo is not as hot as chicken, so you can just put it straight down. It's not going to burn your plants. Problem is, they're not exactly efficient with the way they eat, so they shake their head and try and whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're messy. Yeah, you guys, you're messy. Anyway, there's a lot of seed and everything in their feed, and so we had lots of different little grasses and stuff. I think it's like millet and whatnot, too. But anyway, so I put, what was it called? London something or other Easy Peas. And it's got millet and some other things that I've already spread out over on the other side. So I'm going to cover it with their bedding. And that way it will help to propagate those seeds. Hopefully they'll sprout out and start growing while the ducks are on this side. It can be growing on that side. And if it works, we'll get some more. And we'll just seed one side while they're on the opposite. And that'll give them about a month to germinate and sprout up, and maybe if they don't eat it all, we'll get something out of it. But otherwise, it's just a cheap way for them to forage for their own food beyond what we're giving them. But yeah, we'll put it in giddy up and we'll get this done. So you can kind of see down in through here where some of the seed is just sitting on top. Because of the way their feet are, they kind of harden the dirt off a little bit, but hopefully these will work. Another option is I could take a metal garden rake and kind of like scrape across the top of it. But I mean, we'll see. Okay, so as you can see, I don't have it perfectly cleaned, but I'm not sure if it'll pick it up real great, but My camera, I tell you. Anyway, there's a lot of seed and stuff in there. And I'm not worried about getting every little bit out of there. The only reason I'm changing this out is the ducks, they track water in on their feet because, you know, they basically got a giant swim fin on the end of their ankle. So all I'm really trying to do is get out the stuff that's kind of damp and matted down. This isn't bad. It's just, it starts to smell kind of stale. And, you know, I don't want to run the risk of getting mold and mildew and everything in there. A lot of people do what's called deep bedding, and that works good for the chickens. We don't really clean the chicken coop out every other week like I do this. I do the ducks and then I'll do the chickens. But mostly what I'm doing with the chickens is getting rid of some of the stuff that's really gross, and then I'm just throwing it outside. And then I'm putting new in there. And so theirs is getting pretty deep. That works good for chickens because they don't track in nearly as much water with their feet. With ducks, in my opinion, and I'm not the expert on raising ducks, we just have a few. But for us, it doesn't work. If you're in a drier climate, it might work great. But these little girls here, they messy. We're not trying to hide everything on the ground or make it so where you can't tell it's not just everything's just chips. We're basically just trying to give those seeds a little something to keep the moisture in. As if that's going to be a problem. What do you girls think? Did I do okay? Maid service is checking out all right. You gonna leave me a tip? Like, you know, little white round orbs of yumminess? No, the eggs. The eggs. Come on. Hey, looky there. Those are all wild strawberries. Kind of cool. That's just outside of the greenhouse, but maybe they'll do all right. You never know. Okay, realistically, I'm just a creature of habit, so, you know, animal chores get done first thing in the morning. But now that I'm done playing with them, it's starting to rain pretty good. But anyway, yeah, now it's time to get up there on the roof. And of course, it's raining. So I'll figure something out, but I don't think I'll be having the camera up there. Yeah, I'll stand underneath the carport here. It's kind of handy having this thing back. Oh yeah, and then there's that thing too. I think we might put some paint on it. We'll see. Okay, I'm trying to do this after the fact, but there's that rigid foam I was talking about earlier. We had a bunch of ice and wind and snow. Yeah, wind, all that stuff. But it was coming undone, so I had to redo it. Oh my gosh, and I got a tarp strung up over the top of it, but we'll talk about more of that in a minute. So I don't know if any of what I said before made any sense, but this is what I have up here that's, again, this is temporary. This is not a fix. This is, we came up to this far with the roof and rebuilt it, and then now later that's, you know, over there. But we had to stop because of financial reasons, and you know, you can only do so much. You got to be responsible, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I put some flashing, it's like tar backed or whatever, I don't know what it's called. Well, it's called window and door flashing, but anyway. And then some Tyvek tape. This again, like I said, is just temporary. Put a little window and door spray foam so it wouldn't like hydraulically squish it off of there. And then the backing, that it's like, you know, sticky back. So the backing off of this is what I put on that, and that's how I got it to kind of like press down into the crevices of the chimney. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense. And then, you know, I got a tarp over the top of it so that it's not pouring down rain on me. And also I had to steal Adele's hair dryer because my heat gun crapped out on me halfway through. We had her kind of tied around the old chimney and up and over and tied off and whatnot. And I'll show you how I tied it off on the other side. I tied it off to the rear wheel of the car. Yeah, I know, it's a brand new car. It's rope. It's not super tight. I just didn't want the rope or the tarp to blow off. So that's it coming over the top of the roof. And then I wrapped it around the old stink stack. Anyway, yeah, temporary guys, temporary. Okay, y'all. So round two, and when you open the can, whew, that is definitely like a hot pink. But I saw on the lid when it dries, it's dark red. Okay, that'll be fun. Well, there it is. Got the last coat on it. Actually, this I gotta flip over and paint the inside too, but yeah, that obviously has to dry before I can do that. But the brooder is repainted and ready for this year. All right, well, I think it is definitely darkened up some. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely much better than the pink one.
Right, yeah, okay.
I mean, it still could be darker in my opinion.
Yeah?
But at least this one's red.
All right, yeah, it looks kind of, I don't know, I don't think it's totally dried right there, but it's enough where that's the bottom side, so I need to flip that over, and then I'll set it on a bucket, and we'll go from there.
Might need another coat to make it red.
Okay, well, I'm going to flip it over and do the inside so that it can get a couple of coats, and then I'll maybe put another coat on that. But like I say, it's the bottom.
Right.
So that's basically the big tray that you pull out.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So as you can see, we have some onions and some leeks growing. And then, you know, the old rosemary, that thing just never stops. A little bit of kale from last year that we didn't pull up. Of course, it's bolted, so it's bitter as all get out, like kale isn't anyway, you know. Last year's strawberries, well, like the last 4 years strawberries. And we planted some peas. So we are hoping that we can get some peas going for the ducks mostly. And then all this bed down here, that's the dirt from the very first year. This is a little bit more of the planting soil or garden soil. And then it's the chips that we put on to kind of help it overwinter. Wood shavings, if you will. Anyway, so we got some more raised bed garden soil. We're going to scatter down here where these ropes are. I don't know if you can see them real well, but we tried doing like a trellis thing for tomatoes, but it's so close to the outside that the heat doesn't really stay in here as well. Last year we planted them in this row and they did much better. So we're going to do that again. And I got to order some of those. They look like little hair clip things. But anyway, you clip them on the main vine and then you string them up. Bloop. We're going to put a bar across here. And anyway, that all won't get done today, but hopefully the dirt will. And we'll get this little 6-packer put in there. And then we've got some more seeds that it's about time to start planting, but I don't know. It might be early. We've had some pretty cold mornings. Like 2 or 3 days ago, we had snow. So yeah, the frost, yeah, that's a thing. In here, not so much, but it is still cold. So the ground is not up to temperature. We've got some seeds started in the house, peppers and tomatoes. The peppers are, I think it's the peppers. I'll have to go look. We noticed like yesterday or whatever, they've actually sprouted. So we took the propagation hood, It helps keep the moisture in. But if you leave it on too long, you can actually mold your plants. So once they pop out and say, hey, then you take the propagation hood off and just water them. And that way also they get a little bit of breeze and they get hardened. But then you start taking them outside so they get used to the outside. You're training your plants, literally. But anyway, so now you know the plan. We'll see how far we get. Okay, so we got the animals taken care of this morning, and then I did the roof next, I think. Yeah, I did the roof while the stuff was getting warmer in the garage. Repainted put another coat on the chicken brooder for the chicks that are coming later. It's a while out yet, right? Another while. Meaning a while out. Anyway. So we're going to put some more soil down in here. And then we'll get the rest of those peas planted and see what we got left from there.
I don't think that's deep enough, but...
Chicken snacks. Those ropes really are making it a pain. But I don't want to take them all down, just have to put them back up. Okay. Well, you want to help me plant those?
I'm the cameraman. And I forgot my gloves in the house.
And it said what, 6 inches, something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Approximate.
Further than 6 inches apart, but I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world. Little sure start veggie yeehaw.
I think it's leaking out the side faster than you're scooping it, so. That's plenty.
Great, y'all. Ay, ay, ay. Trying not to create too much root trauma, but at the same time, they're starting to get a little compacted. So we're trying, you can see how they're growing back up the sides and whatnot. So I'm trying to encourage them to grow out. And there's like, well, this one only has 2. There's like 3 starts in each one of these little blocks. But realistically, there's no guarantee that they're all 3 gonna go. But we'll take what we can get, because most of this, if not all of it, is pretty much gonna be duck food. And the chickens too. They like peas as well, but the ducks go nuts for them. All right, well.
Just need to water it in.
Yep, we'll water those in. I'm gonna start on a mist so it's not so dramatic.
I guess that's it for this video. We've planted our peas. Ta-da! God bless. Thanks for watching.